Hi everyone, my name is Akorede Adenike. You are welcome to my channel. In this tutorial today, I would like to teach you how to cut and sew this beautiful kimono jacket showing on the screen. Now let's get into it. This is the fabric I'm using for the tutorial today. It's one of the African print. I have 2 yards and 20 inches of Ankara fabric here. To know the amount of fabric putting on fold for this beautiful jacket, you are going to measure from your center back to where you want it. The inches you want, it's your preference, but I'm making use of 22 inches for my heel, from my center back to my arm where I want it to reach. So I'm going to use this paper to demonstrate how I'm going to fold it for you guys. Assuming this is the width of my fabric and this is the length of it, I'm going to fold into two towards the width like this. Let me explain again. This is the width and this is the length. I'm going to fold into two like this towards the width, and I'm folding again towards the width. So that will make it 4 fold. Now I'm done folding my fabric into 4, as you can see. And this is my starting point, which will indicate my shoulder line as well. So on my shoulder line, I'm going to measure out my neck width, which is 3.5 inches. If you are plus size, you can make it 4 inches from my center front and center back, because I'm cutting the two together. I'm going to measure the length of my cut together sleeve, which I measured from my center back, which is 22 inches. Is going to be here. Hope you can see what I'm marking. Let me drag it for you to see. So here is it. This is that 22 inches from my center front and center back. The remaining 1 inch here will be my seam allowance. Now from my shoulder to my waistline is 17 inches, which is here. From my shoulder to the bottom of my jacket is 35 inches, which is here. And I'm going to add 1 inch from hemming allowance to it, which is here. So I'm going to extend all the lines now for you guys to see. Now from my shoulder to my waistline, from my shoulder to the full length of my jacket, and this 1 inch is for my hemming allowance. So on my neck, from my shoulder here, I'm going to measure 1 inch for my neck depth for the back part, which is here now. And I'm going to connect it with my free hand. Hope you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to measure 9 inches for the depth of my front neckline, as you can see here now. So I'm going to connect it with the curved side of my roller, just like this. I want it to curve a little bit. So that's just it. I don't want this place to sharp. I'll just curve it a little like this. So here now, I'm going to measure 1 inch downward like this for me to draw out my shoulder slope. So I'm going to connect from my neck line here to this place for my shoulder slope. So after drawing out my shoulder slope, I'm going to measure all my horizontal measurements. On my waistline, I'm going to put quarter of my hip there, since I'm making kimono jackets. My hip is 40 inches divided by 4 will give me 10 inches. I'm adding extra 2 inches to it for my hips. That is 12 inches. And I'm going to add 1 inch for my seam allowance to it. That is 13 inches. Just to make it a little bit wide. So I'm repeating same measurement on my hemline, 13 inches. So I'm going to connect it straight, just like this. From here, I'm going to measure out the circumference of my sleeve, and I'm using my round armhole for that. My round armhole is 16 inches, like I said. I'm going to divide it by 2. That will give me 8 inches. I'm adding extra 2 inches to it since I'm making kimono jackets. So that will be 10 inches. I'm adding 1 inch for seam allowance to it. That is 11 inches, which is here now. So I'm going to extend this line up now. So 13 inches. I'll just extend it and connect. So what I have here to this place, what I have here now will be, from my shoulder line, will be 12 inches. So I'm going to repeat it here. That same 12 inches for me to curve my armpit a little bit. So from this line, I'm going to measure 3 inches outward like this. So that 12 inches, let me just roll it out like this, straight, for you to understand. So this 3 inches now, I'm going to curve it to meet this point, just like this. If you are a beginner, please, you can make use of your curve ruler for that. If you are not good at your free hand. I'm cutting the back first, and I added ½ inch for shoulder joining. I'm going to cut this place open like this. I'm done cutting. I'll just remove my back part like this, and I'm going to fold this one like this. So I'm going to cut the front open like this. So the neck here, I'll just cut it from here and follow the shape. That is it for the front part. As you can see now, here's it. Here's the front. Now let's move on to the sewing part. This is my front part, and this is my back part. Now we are going to open it up like this. This is the right side of my back part. I'm going to place my front on it for me to join the shoulder, just like this. This is the right side of my front part, one of the front parts, and the second one too. Let me use this one to explain. I'm going to stitch my shoulder with ½ inch. With ½ inch, I'm doing the same thing on the second part of it, and I'm stitching my side too with 1 inch from the edge of my sleeve here to the down part. I'm doing the same thing on the second part of it. Now I'm done joining both shoulders and the sides too, as you can see. So I'm going to notch here around because I want it to lay very well at the end of the day. So I'm notching the second side too. Just notch it a little bit, just for it to lay very well. So I'll go ahead now and turn to the right side for me to hem my sleeves, both sleeves. I'm going to double fold it like this. Open this place like this and double fold with that 1 inch that I added to it. I'm going to hem it. So I'm doing the same thing on the second sleeve. To know the width of my collar, I'm going to fold my jacket into 2 equal parts like this on the front part for me to measure how long the collar is. I'll let the shoulder align like this, and I'm going to measure from the center back. I'm trying to fold it very well to make it align on each other. So I'm going to measure from my center back here. So what I have here all together till the bottom of it is 42 inches. Altogether will be 84 inches. And this is the collar I've already cut for it. The length of my collar is 2 inches on fold. If I open it up like this, it will be 4 inches in length. So I have 84 inches here, which is the width of my collar. So this is how I'm going to place it. I'm going to place it on the right side of my jacket like this from the bottom. Let the right side of the collar face the right side of the jacket, and I'm going to stitch with 1/2 inch all through. After stitching that, I'm going to hem the bottom of my jacket with 1 inch that I added for it. And this is my belt. So I have 4.5 inches in length. I will just fold it into 2, and the wideness of it, the width of it, depends on how long you want it. So I'll just fold it into 2 like this. This is the right side of it. I'll just fold it into 2 like this and to run a stitch from here to the second edge. Now I'm done with all that I explained. As you can see, I've hemmed both sleeves. Here is one of the sleeves, and this is the second one. I've hemmed it. I've attached my collar to it. After attaching my collar, I hemmed the bottom of my of my kimono jacket with 1 inch that I added for that. So I'll go ahead and overlock the rough edge here. Now here is my belt. I stitch with 1/2 inch. After folding into 2, I stitch with 1/2 inch from here all through till I reach here. So I left about 2 to 3 inches at the middle here for me to turn it to the right side. So I'm going to bring my belt out now. From that opening that I created for it. I'm doing the same thing on this side. So after bringing it out, I'll go ahead and top stitch here for me to close it up. So I'm going to give it a good press and put it on for you guys to see. Please guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment in the box below. Till I see you in my next video guys. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye bye.